Tales from Candleforth is a 2D point-and-click puzzle game developed by Under the Bed Games and published by Feardemic. You play as Sarah Good, a young teenager set to inherit magical healing powers that have been passed down through the women of her family for generations. Before Sarah can complete her training, however, her grandmother falls victim to a mysterious affliction and subsequently goes missing. Now, it's up to Sarah to put her occult knowledge to the test in order to save her grandmother and embrace her birthright. Gameplay consists of a series of escape room-style challenges in 3 appropriately spooky settings: the apothecary, the fields, and the forest. Each area contains several scenes filled with interactable items and puzzles to solve. Things like lining up rotating pieces to form a cohesive design, finding a pattern among objects and placing them in the correct order, or recalling a series of symbols shown in a previous location. Most of the puzzles are quite easy to execute in isolation, but they're often connected in ways that aren't immediately apparent, so the real challenge lies in discerning how information or items acquired in one scene can be used to aid you in another. Players who prefer consistently intuitive solutions with clear end goals might find this setup frustrating, but those who don't mind some backtracking and trial and error will likely enjoy how the game asks you to exercise a little creativity to arrive at certain answers. Tales from Candleforth's crown jewel is its hand-drawn art, which, together with the game's excellent music and sound design, creates a folk horror atmosphere that manages to be both homey and sinister. Each backdrop is rich with texture and personality, and focal points weave whimsy and darkness together in a manner reminiscent of Coraline and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I was particularly eager to explore the apothecary. Its ornate wallpaper, antique furniture, and extensive collection of curios made for a lovely location to do some sleuthing. On 1 or 2 occasions, I had a slight issue with important visual cues being too subtle to perceive clearly. Symbols that were a bit too small, or colors that were a bit too similar to readily distinguish from one another, which added an unintended dimension of difficulty to the puzzles at hand. I was also somewhat disappointed with Tales from Candleforth's story, which, from my perspective, felt a little half-baked. For example, there's a slightly different version of the game's exposition listed in each official source. The developer's website centers Sarah's story on a boy who isn't actually mentioned anywhere in the game. The Steam page describes Sarah as a 16-year-old girl whose grandmother went missing a while ago, and the game itself says Sarah is 14 and has her grandmother disappear the night before Sarah begins her search. A puzzle game doesn't always require a substantial narrative to back it up, but considering Tales from Candleforth's thematic emphasis on storytelling, books, and fairy tales, I did find myself wishing that its narrative was afforded as much care as its engaging gameplay and gorgeous art. Despite these relatively minor gripes, I enjoyed my 2.5-hour playthrough of Tales from Candleforth, and I think it's worth a try for fans of escape room puzzle games like the Cube Escape series, or players who particularly enjoy games with folk horror settings, such as The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. Tales from Candleforth is available now for $11.99 on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Man, folk horror is so cool. It's right up there with psychological horror in the list of horror subgenres I enjoy the most. If I had to choose a favorite game that incorporates folk horror, it'd probably be Detention by Red Candle Games. Simogo's Yearwalk is another good one, and I had no idea it existed until Marty suggested it to me. Don't even get me started on movies. Seriously, don't. We'd be here long after the credits finished rolling. If you have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments. I'll be watching.